Good morning and welcome to today's week ahead video, where here at Synergy we're going to be looking at the major FX pairs, indices and a few cryptos, how they're lining up for the market cycles and any trade opportunities that we can identify for next week. Before doing so, I must read a customary risk warning. Trading is risky and these signals aren't a regulated activity, which means you as a customer aren't protected by the UK laws in place to protect retail clients. So do please understand that before taking any trades. It's an information only service. You're the one to act on the trades. We're not offering personal advice. So let's start. April has been pretty tricky. It's been extremely volatile, one of the most volatile months I've seen in living memory, having been doing this for 15 years now. That volatility, seeing the S&P bounce 11% on a Trump tweet, is just unprecedented. We've had central banks talking as well. Difficult trading conditions, but we still managed to navigate and get through. It's just a bit of a quieter month. So let's start at the top. We'll start on top of the list, which is AUD CAD. Let's have a quick look. Here we go. When we zoom in, the most recent piece of price action was this structure here. Remember this little red thing here? That's what we look for when we're trading. You can see it in blue here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you just got to identify where you are in that cycle. And it's abstract in some cases. These consolidation zones have two types of style. They're either sideways chop or they're in the form of this trap false. So you've got the trap, false, and the real, which is ultimately a zigzag. So we've got an ABCD that overextended down here. We've kicked back in, come back to retest here. For me, this is 1, this is 2. You probably expect to see this one continue lower. You've got a big ABCD in blue. Remember, this is about harmonic patterns, this particular service and market cycle. Nothing really there for me. I'm not going to get caught up in it. We move on. Check anything on the daily. This structure is quite nice. You can see the pattern that I was talking about on all time frames. You've got the W bottom, you got 1, you got 2, and you have the peak. So we got 1, we got 2, and we got the W. It's not always going to be drawn up. It might be like this, the W. But in this instance, you can see terrible drawings, but there we are. So that's the W, 1, 2 up. We're anticipating a third push higher. Looks good to me. Hasn't been any retests of any zones. If anything, I suspect that we're going to come back and test here. That would be my entry signal. That's a little bit obscure for some of you guys trying to work out what's going on, but that's what I'm targeting as my entry. And once we get down there, I'll have my alert go off, and that will give me some form of information about what to do. And until then, we're just going to wait, stick an alert on it. And there you have it. All right, moving on. AUD CHF. CHFs have taken a battering, but we still got this formation developing here. This is ultimately a change of character here. We've got a change of character because we've taken out the previous high. You could call that a change of character all the way down to here, really. And after a change, you do want to see a break. So this thing is ready to explode higher. You can see the high highs and high lows sort of developing off the low. But if we go to the daily, what I had seen throughout my time, here's the pattern again. Excuse my mouse sensitivity. Here's that pattern. On the way up, we saw it 1, 2, 3. And on the way down, I had it here. This is definitely a 1 because of the way the year laid out and level 1 rules. This is a level 2 as well because of how the EMAs were laid out. We're trading over the 50. The fact that even though this did turn out to be level 2, ultimately, we were cautious around here. This is a peak at this moment in time. This was a peak low. And in a peak low, you have to be cautious. And it did look to me like we were developing a shoulder, head and shoulder in the wrong place to induce. And that normally was a telltale sign that this isn't the peak. That this is the peak, because you've got adverse trading behaviors and lows. And that's normally to get people to do the wrong thing. But in this case, it played out. Reason being, CHF is a safe haven. And Donald Trump decided to ruin the economy. So by Donald Trump doing that, a massive clamour to gold, CHF. Euro has done well on the back of it. Right, let's get cracking on. AUD NZD, AUD NZD. You've got the 1, 2 up, the M. You've got a big consolidation over the 800. We're expecting this to break down. I was in this up here on a break and a retest. I now expect this to give us some high highs and lower lows and lower highs type behavior. I haven't seen anything yet that's gonna, apart from here, I'd expect the market to get into this little zone here because you had this bit broken. It hasn't been retested. This isn't a break and a retest for me. So this is a change. And that's not the retest either. So you've got the change, break, and then the retest. So we have to wait for that. We'll check if there's any low hanging fruit going on, but you've got a weaker drop, second week of drop, even though it looks like a no net, and the third week of drop. So we should be done with the drops on this one. Moving on, AUD, USD. So we have 2 weeks of rise here. We have 1 week, 2 weeks. Remember, this market works in threes. This was the last, so we haven't actually made a proper change yet. Slight change. I'm going to just put that up there. That's a slight change, but I want to see a break of that and then a retest. So slight change has been seen. Ultimately, it's up there. Slight changes. So I'd like to see a break and a retest. This is ultimately counter trend. We have bounced off the 800, the 8.6%. Remember this map here, we are there. We sold off break and we're coming back to retest this down, this ascending trend line. You can see the market cycle pretty clear. There's one, there's two. What we have here is a change, break, retest. And you can see that the change is here, guys. So we made the change, break. We haven't retested this area properly yet. This is exactly where we are now. I don't know if there's any easy trades on this one or not. I don't believe so. No, not yet. It's not showing bearishness yet. Moving on. I don't really trade CAD CHF, CAD JPY, CHF JPY, but Euro AUD is definitely something that is attractive to me. If we have a look at it on the daily, you can see the market cycle in its wonder playing out in front of our eyes here. We have level 1, level 2, and an internal 1, 2, 3 to the high. We aren't yet at the previous peak, which is much further higher. So that does give me hope that we are going to be pushing more. But I'm just going to zoom out so I can measure the 78.6 fib because that's ultimately very powerful. Bear with me. There's quite a lot going on this chart, which I will show you. So we're very close to the 78.6 up here. That's normally a bit of a stopping ground. But I have noticed we do have ABCD characteristics. So if we take this line here, that's AB. And if we copy it and place it, where would it be? The lowest point down here. You can see that we're getting very close to completing this ABCD pattern, which would then be a Gartley, an amazing Gartley that I would be keen to take. So I'm definitely going to put an alert up there. Still expecting longs into this move. We'll start on top of the list, which is AUD CAD. Let's have a quick look. Here we go. When we zoom in, the most recent piece of price action was this structure here. Remember this little red thing here? That's what we look for when we're trading. You can see it in blue here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you just got to identify where you are in that cycle. And it's abstract in some cases. These consolidation zones have two types of style. They're either sideways chop or they're in the form of this trap false. So you've got the trap false and the real, which is ultimately a zigzag. So we've got an ABCD that overextended down here. We've kicked back in, come back to retest here. For me, this is 1, this is 2. You probably expect to see this one continue lower. You've got a big ABCD in blue. Remember, this is about harmonic patterns, this particular service and market cycle. Nothing really there for me. I'm not going to get caught up in it. We move on. Check anything on the daily. This structure is quite nice. You can see the pattern that I was talking about on all time frames. You've got the W bottom, you got 1, you got 2, and you have the peak. So we got 1, we got 2, and we got the W. It's not always going to be drawn up. It might be like this, the W. But in this instance, you can see terrible drawings, but there we are. So that's the W, 1, 2 up. We're anticipating a third push higher. Looks good to me. Hasn't been any retests of any zones. If anything, I suspect that we're going to come back and test here. That would be my entry signal. That's a little bit obscure for some of you guys trying to work out what's going on, but that's what I'm targeting as my entry. Once we get down there, I'll have my alert go off and that will give me some form of information about what to do. And until then, we're just going to wait, stick an alert on it. And there you have it. All right, moving on. EuroCAD, this one's a particular favorite of mine. You really have to get your eyes in to be able to see this one clearly. So we got level, you can see the market cycle 1, 2, 3, and this is a massive level 1 up, and we just started to break to the upside. Trading's just shy of the 50 EMA, so this is either the start of 2 or it's the push part of 2. We're not sure yet. We're really not sure. So that's 1. It's potentially 2 at this point. Potentially 2, been and gone. Or it's not. It's just going to keep making high highs and high lows. But let's just treat it as 2 for now. So we're looking to, this could get confusing, but what I need to see here is that W structure. None of these classified for me as a real break on the higher time frame, so it's easier to see here. So we had the change, and all of this was, where was I seeing it from? This is the break and the retest. None of these are proper breaks for me anyway. Certainly not on the, where did I see it the best? Here we are. It's on this time frame. So you can see the clear change, and you can see that all of these candles were touching this line. So it wasn't a true break, but this was the true break, and that was the retest. So I view that personally now as this is how I see the W. With trading, you have to be able to see the situation. That's the W. Break, retest off the 50. Now we're looking for longs. So that's exactly what we do. We're looking for longs on this. An internal change, break, retest, stop. This is push 1. I expect much more higher prices coming out of this guy. It's a really nice setup. Moving on. Don't touch these guys. Euro NZD we do touch. So Euro NZD, I didn't send this, but I took it selfishly. The reason I didn't send it is because it was at midnight when the pattern completed, but it was a stonking pattern. I did mention it in my MelonsTrade private group. Anyone can join as well. It's where we discuss market cycles away from the regulated environment, because there is no way to interact in the regulated signals group. So this is the next best place to discuss ideas. So what you can see is absolutely fantastic. We got the 78.6 retracement from X, A, B, C, D, perfect. There was even the completion of, what the hell is it called? Fair value gaps on the 4 hour. We can just point that out to you. We've filled in all of this here to here, fair value gap thing going on, even though I don't trade that methodology. Also backfilled here is still lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So we do have to be careful, but the pattern is beautiful pattern. It does appear to me that we have completely filled all these gaps in. And this one should go higher. Obviously, this is the control point, high and low. We're trading between there at the minute, and we're at the upper range. I need to see a break. At the minute, there's nothing else to go on. Euro USD, this is something that we took as well. Trade that we're currently in as well, hugging the 50, but you can see the structure is pretty clear. We had 1 week, 2 weeks. It didn't give us the 3rd week, but we can see the structure of the pattern, level 1, level 2, and we're anticipating the 3rd. Where else can we show you what's going on the daily? It's extremely bullish. Daily is a massive level 1 consolidation with a break at the top, and we are expecting higher highs and higher lows to continue here. For clear skies almost, but with clear skies, there's normally dangers of the market filling in again. GA, let's have a look. 1, 2, we're in the 3rd zone at the minute. Higher highs and higher lows, looking for the 50. Cleared the previous high. There's an absolutely wonderful, wonderful pattern. Very happy with that. GBP CAD, this is another one that I'm getting excited about joining in. So we've been above and below the 50, come back above and tapping it. This is level 2, we're expecting higher highs and higher lows. 1, 2, expecting the 3rd. The peak is still somewhere on the left. And let's just see what we're seeing. So we haven't come down and retested yet, which is interesting. Maybe we're not going to, but we've got the change and we're waiting for the break retest here. This looks like it wants to go quite early. That's cool. He can go early. Here's the change. Obviously a break and a retest of this, but for now we've got the change, break. I'm looking for a move above here, a close above here, and I'm in. Dangerous close, could gap up or below that. But yeah, structures in our favor for higher prices. GBP CHF, we had a pop on this guy. reasoning for the pop. Let's have a look. In the market cycle, at the lows of level one consolidation, which is known as the safety trade, is a low risk area to get into the market. We're just here on the little key. And if we have a look closer, it was quite easy. I've got such an itchy hay fevery nose, excuse me. So we've got breaker structure two, and we're just waiting for the third push to test this high and get into this order block. There is a fair value gap from here to here, which will probably be completed. Part of the targeting. GU is another one that I got into, but I haven't sent out. So that's a level one consolidation. And then what we saw was a break, retest here, and a move away. Entry was quite difficult to see, but we got the change break. And then internally, we're expecting the same thing to play out. That's really nice. Really nice. Okay, moving on. NZD CAD is something that owes me. It does owe me a good trade. Let's have a look at it. Break, retest. I'm waiting for this one to get up here, and I will be taking that. That looks like a good. Bear with me 1 second. I'm going to have to blow my nose. So what we have here is the change. We have the break. We have the retest. But what has it retested? Let's have a look. Looks to me we're retesting here. So this one did make a change. Very difficult to see this sometimes. Inside a 1-2. 1 week, 2 week. We do know we've got something on for next week. This is a weaker rise. The second weaker rise. Expecting the third. And if we have a look where we are in the cycle, this is the lows of level one consolidation with this nasty spike down. But yeah, expecting bullish prices. NZD, USD, huge spike up off the lows. ABCD, similar to AUD, USD, expecting higher prices in the short term, but ultimately lower prices in the longer term. Let's get on to Ripple. What's Ripple saying? Ripple is trying to make a small bounce. There's nothing really to look at on that chart. We'll have a look at Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin's trying to turn itself around, but we do have a bit of a pattern forming here. This may be a peak. Ultimately, it should get down to here. Yeah, really interesting, potentially bullish scenario. That's 1, that's 2 above the break. Yeah, to gold. Gold has been crazy. If I can fit the chart into my... It's completed the AVCD pattern. This is level 3 behavior, extreme expansion. You can see the structure, level 1, level 2. This is on the monthly going back to 1979. You can see how connected it all is. This is another priority for me to get involved with. We got the change. You have the break. Now, the problem with this break is, as we have broken now, that means that we're going to be coming back down to retest. And I fear that we're going to be coming back down quite a long way. Got to be careful. So I'm going to be careful. But it's very bullish long term. Stellar, again, not showing us a great deal, but always trying to leave this zone. We've had a gap up. Amazing numbers on Stellar. Real world assets close to $500 million. That's tokenization. It's leading in the tokenization space. Sorry, US500 completed the Harmonic. Let's see if there's a bigger picture pattern for it. This for me is in peak. It's just going to be bumbling around up here now. CAD. This is another one that is setting up. So we have the change, the break. We did have the retest down here. But ultimately, this pattern, level 1, level 2, 1, 2. This could be another move up here. This is an ABCD. It is a bit of a Gartley. There was an internal structure. Just denying that the red down here is what we want. When this is down here, we'll look to send that. Moving on, Wall Street. Wall Street, similar kettle of fish. I was quite bullish on Wall Street. I did take a trade in it. But we've now definitely come back and retested this W. So that's 1 up. We need to keep an eye open for a change of character on the lower time frames. What we've got down here at the minute is just that, a change, break, retest. That's a bit risky for me. There's not much going on that. It needs to develop more. Let's have a look at the 5. So on the 5, so what we see here is definitely seeing a change. Then we saw a break and we saw a retest as part of 1, 2, and then 3. I'm just forcing it a bit. If I try and find a trade there, it just seems a bit forced. So yeah, I'm not seeing what I need to see. I'm not going to force anything. I can see high, high, higher, low at the minute. And that's about it, folks. So listen, I hope you found that as captivating as I always do. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out for me at Synergy Signals. If you're interested in joining a community where there's about 70 traders talking about this stuff every day. Please join my private Telegram at MelonsTrade. And yeah, have a great Easter. Thanks, guys. Cheers.